Hi there. A couple of years ago, I was 350 pounds. I was living as somebody who had a lot of regrets, but along with those regrets, I was pretty angry with a few people in my life. I was pretty upset with the way situations had gone in my life, and I carried a lot of unforgiveness. That unforgiveness led to me being resentful and eating a heck of a lot more than I needed to, way more often than I should have. My emotional scars and my regrets and my unforgiveness caused me to seek comfort in a way that was so toxic because I didn't know any other coping strategies until I learned them. Hi, my name is Easter. Welcome to my channel. Here we try to achieve a healthy body along with a healthy mind and a healthy spirit. We work together towards taking away the things that drive you to the food in the first place when you have a significant amount of weight to lose. Today, I'm going to talk to you about unforgiveness. Unforgiveness and harboring anger, harboring hurt from other people is probably hurting you as much as your emotional scars are hurting you. As much as the day-to-day stress is hurting you, if you carry unforgiveness, it sits there like a heavy rock within you. And until you deal with it, it's not going to go away. So learning to forgive people that have hurt us significantly in the past is a really difficult decision to make, but it has to be a conscientious decision. So whether you're on a weight loss journey or not, or you want to start one, I want you to think about this. If you're someone who's really angry with the past, if you're someone who carries this unforgiveness, this may be a big part of why you eat. I had somebody tell me recently that she was divorced, and as soon as her husband left her, she just packed on the pounds. That sounds like unforgiveness to me. I got out of a relationship that wasn't a good ending. I packed on 200 pounds. Sounds like unforgiveness to me. I had issues in the past with my parents in my childhood, and I carried a lot of unforgiveness and resentment because it was a very difficult childhood. I was put into the role of being a parent to my younger siblings, and I really resented that because I felt my childhood was taken away from me far too early. And once I started thinking about forgiveness, once I started to consider how much that was actually weighing me down, it felt like a cancer inside me. It felt like a physical rock that was rotting inside me and causing me this turbulence and this infection that was spreading throughout me. It was just a horrible feeling. And if you have that feeling towards people from your past or from your present that you harbor anger towards, you harbor resentment towards, you harbor unforgiveness towards, I guarantee you that is contributing to your weight. I guarantee you. It's not an easy thing to look at because we're hurt, but sometimes stepping back and just looking at the situation with objective eyes will help you look at the person differently. If you could look at that person as someone who maybe made their own mistakes, if you could look at that person as maybe having their own hurts, maybe having their own scars, and maybe they didn't handle the situation the right way, maybe they didn't do things the way you would have preferred they do them, but is it worth the pain and suffering you go through on a day-to-day basis with your anger? I know someone whose husband died 30 years ago, and to this day, as soon as his name is brought up, she goes on a 30-minute tangent about how terrible he was and how awful he was and how he treated her. And I've tried to talk to her and explain to her how it's so burdening her and it consumes her, but she can't listen to it, and that's very sad. But she carries this resentment and this anger, and it makes me really sad for her because we don't need to live that way. If you're living with unforgiveness, anger, resentment, bitterness towards other people, think about maybe looking at the situation a little bit, looking at them as somebody who may also have been going through a lot at the time, or maybe just doesn't have the capacity to be the person you needed them to be when they were there in your life. A lot of times that's the case. We expect perfection out of people, or we expect them to put in as much as we put in, and they don't. And we feel disappointed and we feel hurt, or they take us by surprise and they just leave us, or they hurt us in some major way, but we don't have control over that. And part of forgiveness is understanding that you never did have control over it. And by being angry with it, you're not gaining control. You're not getting the better of them by being angry with them. You're consuming yourself with this anger. You're consuming your spirit with this anger. This type of feeling really is so toxic that until you learn to maybe seek therapy about it, or to go to some online support groups about it, these things will weigh you down. And you can build a support network, and you can work towards forgiveness, and you can pray, you can meditate, you can think about that person being a human being the same way you are. And you know you've made your mistakes in life, and maybe they've made mistakes, or like I said, maybe their capacity isn't to be who you needed them to be at the time they were who they were in your life. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because if you can unburden yourself with these feelings, it will be so liberating that it will propel you forward. Unburdening yourself with the anger and the hurt that you carry will just be so liberating, will be so freeing, will be so joyful. You'll be a whole new person. And I can say that because I am. I let go of the hurts I harbored towards other people. I let go of the pain I carried from other people. I was able to look at them in a new way and say, well, they're human too, and I'm not perfect, and neither are they. And some people I just saw as unable to give me what I needed from them because they just weren't able to do it. Instead of sitting there and wallowing in self-pity because I ended up with this person in my life who didn't do anything for me, I'm actually able to look at them and say, I feel kind of bad for them. And I hope that their life gets better, because I need mine to get better and I need to move on. The freedom this has given me, the ability to go through my day without carrying that extra weight here, allowed me to not carry the extra weight here. I hope that makes sense. If you find that you are feeling this resonates with you, leave me a comment and we can work on the tools to get past this together. We can work on strategies to release this anger and this unforgiveness. We can work on strategies to help you see with perspective and kindness rather than feeling bad for yourself and hating them. Leave a comment down below. Let me know that you want to help yourself right now to get past these things that keep you stuck in the past and keep the weight on, and to free yourself of these things so you can move forward free of the weight that it's carrying here. Because when we heal here, we heal here. Hit that subscribe button and give me a like, and I'll be back very soon with more.